Hi everyone, it's QuickyBaby and welcome back to World of Tanks. In today's video, I'm going to show you exactly why German heavies are mad. And they're mad fun, they're mad good for getting it done, at least most of the time. And they're literally some of the most fun that you can have in World of Tanks once you get to tier 10 and you kind of try and limit test them a little bit. Today, I'm going to be playing with my good buddy M4. And what's better than having 3,550 hit points? Well, it's kind of like having 7,000 hit points combined, or thereabout, when M4 either gets all of his field mods or he gets a decent durability device on their mouse. This is the most hit points you can have in World of Tanks, 3,550. One of the most important things to do in a mouse when you're about to do something crazy is to let your team know. Because mad Germans are loud, right? They're not just there, just kind of like quiet mad. They kind of go full mad within that regard. So by telling your team what you're going to do, it can allow them to also be able to join you in the craziness that's about to happen. Now look, mouse, what are you going to do? You're going to go into the town. Are you going to go and sit there, kind of side scrape? Well, maybe when you're by yourself. But this could maybe even work in a solo play, but I don't think so. I think it's more of like you have to have a platoon of mouse to be able to do this. So by having two vehicles here, we've got 7,000 hit points, we can just get forwards and we can now force the enemy team down towards the west to actually have to engage us. And that will allow, hopefully, our medium tanks to be able to push through the field and take this battle down. You can see the 5A probably thinks, oh, what's this noob coming into this position? Well, yeah, this noob is bouncing your 340 heat like you're a filthy casual and hopefully being able to deliver some shells back, right? So unfortunately, you know, we still are going to take some damage. But the thing is with the mouse is you've got 50% more hit points than something like a 5A. And so every time you're trading evenly with that vehicle, they're not going to win the trade war in that regard. You're still going to have 1,000 hit points left while they're a dripping heap on the floor. Okay. Pro tip. Don't try and jump on a mouse. The dude did 832 damage to himself and only did 277 to the mouse. And me and M4 are going to polish off that absolute donkey. But you know what? 10 out of 10 for effort. And what you're seeing here now is just the craziness of what the mouse feels like, really. Look, a lot of people get the mouse and they get frustrated when people are just firing gold at its cheeks. Get over it. It's gonna happen. You got 3,500 hit points. Make use of them. Put yourself into a high-pressure situation, hopefully with a good buddy here like M4, and then just get the whole team to focus on you. And you can. It's not like you have to have a platoon to do this. You can also do this in a solo form as well. You just got to be a little. Maybe don't take on like 6 tanks at the same time. Literally, not even kidding you. Don't take on 6 tanks at the same time. Maybe take on 2 or 3. But the real bonus to this play by coming up here. That's unlucky. I was trying to overmatch his flaps there, fire right up into his tank. Is that look what's happened in the field. Look what's happened into the field right now. We have a Leopard, we have a 432, we have a Shelmer, their light tank. I don't even know what their light tank did. Is their light tank still alive? Somewhere their light tank must be dead. No, their light tank is actually still alive. They've had to go into the town because there's just no room for them to breathe in the field. And just imagine what kind of a game the Shelmer and the Leopard are having right now. They've just got a whole wealth of targets to be able to engage. And you've got to think to yourself, if we'd gone into the town, would we have won the town? Possibly, but would we have won the field? Definitely not. And so that leaves kind of like a 50-50, whereas right now we've baited all of the opponents into coming and looking at us, and we've made our players useful. And that is what you have to do in the mouse. You have to... Your armor and your hit points are your strength, right? Your armor isn't perfect. Your hit points are perfect in the game of World of Tanks, right? As you've got the most of them. So it's about how you can invest those hit points, sometimes not just for yourself, but also for the team. And funnily enough, when you quite get it right, it's not only good for the team, it's also good for you. One of the best crew skills to take on the mouse has to be Adrenaline Rush. I still have 763 hit points. I can take a tank hit from like 95% of the vehicles in the game right now. But I've got Adrenaline Rush activated. So I'm getting a 5% rate of fire. That's kind of like half a slot of equipment just for taking a crew skill. And you have it activated from kind of like 800 hit points or so in this tank, which is absolutely bonkers when you think about it. That you can, I could take often 3 hits from a medium, 2 hits from a super conqueror, 2 hits from a T110E4 while I have my adrenaline rush triggered. And just by setting your vehicle up in this kind of the correct way, you really do turn the mouse from being a meme to kind of making a meme out of the enemy team. And then when your hit points start to dwindle, you know, got to play a little bit tighter. Unfortunately, that DZ-T159 got a really good shot into my side. Hopefully I'm going to be able to catch this guy's turret. Ricochet off. Just hoping that the Leopard and the Shelmer, who have kind of like joined forces into one single tank up there, are going to be able to get their shots in the side. It would be nice if the Leopard committed some of their hit points as well. But then again, it's not the Leopard's job to kind of commit the hit points, at least early on in the battle, but towards the later part of the battle, probably. Because right now, our team is up triple on hit points, but we've actually got half of the tanks now. So is this going to turn into a nightmare? Well, that DZT looks like they just took about 30 damage, maybe from the Shelmer. Or maybe the Leopard has decided to start firing HE at their vehicle. Unfortunately, M4 has fallen. If he got himself a good durability device on that vehicle, maybe he could have been able to take that hit. Honestly, if any of you... I wouldn't really recommend... you could spend the bonds, but I wouldn't really recommend it. If any of you can get one of the bond durability devices from an event, the mouse is just the perfect candidate. Your tracks become meaty. You can take the second field mod not to improve your track health, but to improve the overall mobility of your vehicle, and improving the mobility on the mouse should be your #1 aim with a tank like this. And yeah, that bond durability device just allows you to compensate that kind of that track health. Will this UDES pen me? Maybe. Wiggle, wiggle, wiggle. You can see that they just actually choked out the shot. Either that or they're trying to go for the 50 TP behind me when they realize that dealing with a mouse isn't fun. And don't turn your back on the mouse, you know? Just because you couldn't handle the pressure shot against the cheeks doesn't mean that I'm not going to handle the pressure shot right into the back. And, oh, what's this? GG Platoon 1? Oh, right in the feels. If this isn't just a mouse winning the game with a power play in the field, with also getting a powerful combined of 7,000, also getting a thumbs up from your team, if that is not what the mouse is all about and why German tanks are not only mad, they're also epic, I don't know what is. Okay. Look, what we did there, it was good, but maybe it wasn't quite full crazy. So why don't we step it up a notch? This time, not with the mouse, but with the Panzer 7 instead. This vehicle, it pains me to say it, is just better than the mouse. Since Wargaming buffed it, this vehicle, for maybe not for doing crazy things, but for just getting the job done and winning the battle, this thing is mad. It's got crazy penetration on its standard rounds, so if you're free-to-play player, you'll practically never have to fire gold in this tank with 276mm of pen. Great shell velocity on its standard rounds, amazing shell velocity on its premium rounds, amazing frontal armor, a bit of a side weak point triangle here that your opponents can shoot, but you know, you can pretty much just launch your frontal hull around the corner against 90% of the shells in the game. And it's also not slow. Look at that, 39 kilometers an hour with a regular turbo on this vehicle. Its gun handling is decent as well. It's got 2.3 seconds aim time and 0.33 accuracy, so it's a 560 alpha damage sniper. This thing is an absolute monster of World of Tanks. And I'd say it's definitely one of, if not the most competitive kind of tier 10 heavy within that regard, and definitely the best tier 10 German. And it pains me to say, because you think it would be the mouse, right? And almost as if, like, the mouse knows, they're kind of just YOLOing us here. I guess they're trying to one-up us on the crazy level. I'm thinking about tracking them here and just holding them in place, because they're in a terrible position and they'll get dumped by my Jagdpanzer. So I'm going to just track them, lock them in place, and I'm hoping that the Jagdpanzer E100 here will be able to dump them in just a second. Dump them in just a second. Come on, Mr. Jagdpanzer, on cue. Come on, mate, get him. Okay, fine. I'm not bothering to try and track this tank anymore. If the Jagdpanzer's not going to be able to hit them. Come on, Jagdpanzer. Look, you were told about what you needed to do before, right? Come on, buddy. Okay, doesn't look like the Jagdpanzer's actually quite got the angle there. All right, fine. I'll do it myself. Okay, there we go. Good job. 2001 mark. You're a little bit late there, but better late than never. And that poor, innocent, sweet mouse, been playing since the beta of the game. What? Okay, yeah, I just blind fired an FV405 while I was trying to highlight that the mouse has been playing since the beta of the game. And yeah, a little bit of a rough round there for them. But good try. You can see that they're trying to get the field mods on the mouse as well, because an embarrassingly low amount of hit points there. Definitely should have taken a durability device if they weren't. The durability device would have kept them in it, and they wouldn't have got locked down in such an awkward position for so long. We're going to do a bit of a wall ride here for as long as we possibly can until we get into position, just to avoid getting spotted and avoid taking another 1,207 damage in the side from an FV4005. But again, best thing about playing Germans, I got like 2,890 hit points. Oh, you hit me for 1,200. Oh, I'll do it again, and I've still got enough hit points to be able to deal with you later. All right, so pretty normal-ish kind of game here. I would have YOLO'd across at the beginning if it wasn't for those two tier 10s that came to defend the location, but this is where things are about to start to get a little bit naughty. Alright, so we spot the FV405, we get 900 assistance on them, catch the E50M, catch the Panzer 7, catch the 268 version 5. Look at me. Who's the 130-ton light tank now? Yeah, it's the Panzer 7 of Malinovka. And just by using a little bit of sneakiness, by wiggling our tracks along the edge, we've managed to cross the field. And now in this kind of a position, as long as I can just keep my front towards my opponents here, what are they even going to do? This thing's a monster. It does have a couple of issues with the mantlet if they hit to the left or the right. That is a pressure shot. You can see the Panzer 7 on the enemy team firing gold at my supposed weak point there. I'm going to repair the gun to be able to get rid of the 268 version 5, and while the Panzer 7 is trying every effort to be able to just load gold and go through my mantlet, as long as I can just try and dissuade him here, I should be okay. You can see I'm trying to go for his mantlet as well, thinking, shall I go for the side, shall I go for the mantlet right now? Side mantlet, side mantlet. I should have probably gone for the mantlet, but when you got 0.33 accuracy, you hit shots like those. So we are just 4 minutes into this game, and we have a nice 8,700 combined. Not too shabby, but we are only just getting started, right? As Germany once again races forwards to show that this is kind of the best heavy tank, but also, at least on Malinovka, it looks like one of the best light tanks as well, right? Unfortunately for me, my whole team is also getting forwards. Now the T100 LT is probably like waving his fist out of his tank, saying, "You took me, Gerb! They took me, Gerb!" It's meant to be the best light tank map, right? However, interestingly enough, and it's probably just because of luck through bushes and everything, I'm actually the one who's spotting and tracking the Leopard. So yeah, 10,500 combined now. Are we spotting that 50B? Did we get the vision on the 50B? Of course we got the vision on the 50B. Why wouldn't we? Wargaming have now made it so that heavy tanks get field mods, that they also increase their view range, and this thing with 400 base view range can get up to something stupid like 460 or 470 meters view range without coated optics, because why would you really bother to play a medium tank or a light tank in World of Tanks in 2025? Avoiding the pitfall there, when you could just play a big fat German heavy and just drive around and have a lot of fun. The Panzer 7 is an absolute chad of World of Tanks. This was 13,000 combined, playing like an absolute crazy German. And to do that in 5 minutes, yeah, not bad. The funny thing is that not only are these German heavies just good for, should we say, these cherry-picked epic moments, they just seem to consistently get the job done outside of it, which is why it pains me to say, but, well, as a Brit here, but I don't do so very well at just influencing the games and getting wins in my Super Conqueror, even though sometimes I can feel like, hey, I'm on a ridgeline. I feel like I'm a god right now. But my German heavies all have much better win ratios, like mid 60% win ratios solo at tier 10. And it's just by eventually having the confidence to realize that crazy isn't mad, or mad isn't crazy, or at least so crazy that it works. And that it can sure be fun inside World of Tanks. Anyway, ladies and gents, boys and girls, that's it for today. Really hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, give it a thumbs up. If you hated it, give it a thumbs down. And let me know in the comments down below, what are your favorite German tanks to just go mad in? And if you're watching this video as it's released on Friday, I'm going live all day on twitch.tv/QuickyBaby with some brand new drop tokens. So come and get them so that you don't miss out on that free tier 7 premium tank. And as always, thank you so much for watching. You've been epic, and hopefully I'll see you soon.